Hi, I'm Asondia, and I am starting a YouTube channel in hopes of helping humanity with their ascension and raising their level of consciousness. I wanted to start off by telling you a little bit about me and my story, and then we're going to do a healing and also a message. So I'm going to do my best to just post this video without any editing. I know it's going to be hard, but we'll see how it goes. So first of all, my given name is Heather. So a lot of folks that might watch this, and family members and friends and people that have known me in my career, know me as Heather. And I recently have gone through a spiritual awakening, which started really back in 2017. And it was around that time that I kind of stepped away socially. I had just come out of a very nasty DUI, and it kind of rocked my world and sent me into a dark place for a while. I had just started a new company in 2015, and on the heels of that, in February of 2016, I got this DUI. And so I spent, most of 2016 in a rehab program that was court ordered at the time. And then it was during that time that I started really going internally, looking at my life. I was in a Celebrate Recovery program at the time, and it really helped me see a lot of things that I didn't love about my life at the time. And anybody that knows me, anybody that's watching this video knows that I was a quintessential single woman. And I had a lot of fun, a lot of dating, a very active social life. I always have. I'm 55 now and happily married, which I'll get into that story perhaps on another video. I'll tell you a little bit about it here, but I kind of want to focus on what got me started on this spiritual journey. So I've always been spiritual. My father was a preacher and a Southern Methodist preacher. And so I've always had knowledge of God. And I never really resonated with religion, but I always felt that spiritual presence in my life forever. And so luckily, my father was a master. He had his master's degree in theology, and so he encouraged me to explore my own belief system, and didn't really force me into one particular religion. And so fast forward to this DUI that I received. I'll tell you what happened. I had started my company in November of 2015, and I was, still living high on the hog, thinking that this company was going to take off like that. And I, made the mistake that a lot of brand new entrepreneurs make, and you have your rose-colored glasses on. You don't really realize the work it's going to take going into building a new company. And so I was still going out a lot, partying, having a good time, and one night I prayed and I said, Lord, just, bring to the surface whatever it is that's getting in my way in life. And I'm not kidding you. 2 weeks later, I got the DUI. So be careful what you wish for, because you will get it. So I got the DUI in February of 2016, and it really, it was the biggest gift of my life. The biggest gift. At the time, didn't feel like a gift. I know now all the hardships in my life, and every time something really terrible has happened to me, it's been a huge gift, and it sent me onto a new trajectory. and that I needed to be rerouted. I like to say that God reroutes me in my life. And so I got the DUI, and it really forced me to focus on building my new company. And, I kind of cut myself off socially. I couldn't drink anyway, had the interlock in my car for 2 years. I mean, it was a pretty bad DUI. And so I cut myself off socially and really dove into building my business. And it was, again, the biggest gift of my life. So it was around that time frame I really went inward and did a lot of healing work at the time, and a lot of introspection. So in 2017 is right around when my spiritual awakening started. Now, there's a lot more to this story, which I'll get into in other videos. It's my plan to post a whole series of videos on spiritual awakening and ascension, and helping guide people through their own spiritual ascension and awakening, and for those of you that might go through something that similar to what I've gone through, and kind of help guide that process for you. And so, I built the company. I ended up selling it and continued running that company for, the next many years. And I stepped away in, so I guess it was around October, November, December timeframe of 2023 is when I stepped away from that company and decided to retire. And I retired, and I was really struggling in my relationships with my family. I was struggling in relationships with friends. I was just very lost. And a friend of mine referred me to a body code practitioner in Arizona. That's where I was living at the time. And I started seeing her on a regular basis, and I'm gonna give a shout out to the body code right now, because it absolutely changed the trajectory of my life forever. And so I was going to see this body code practitioner. You can look it up online, the body code. And it's under the heading Discover Healing is the company, is Dr. Bradley Nelson was the creator of the body code, the emotion code, the heart code. And so I started seeing this body code practitioner, and it was insane what was happening to me. It was like, once I made that choice to really start cleaning out my stuff, if you will, it just started happening like that. Quick. And it was like miracles were happening. My relationships were revolutionized. I felt better. I was sleeping better. I, got my energy back. I got my drive back. I got my heart back, my passion back. And in the, I'll give you just a little snippet here. In the body code, in the emotion code, throughout that process, you kind of find out you have what's called a heart wall. And so the heart wall is a set of emotions that have built themselves around your heart for protection. Most people have between 0 and 25 heart wall emotions that are stuck. I had 536 heart wall emotions that were, I had a really nice little comfy little wall I had built. And so with the work of this body code practitioner, I was able to release childhood trauma. I healed my own digestive system with her work, with her help. I was able to open myself up more to my friends and family, healing relationships. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I could talk about this for days. So during that healing process, I really healed a large chunk of my trauma, in this lifetime. And so it was in November time frame of October 2024, that I was introduced to my now husband. And so my girlfriend knew him for, over 20 years, and she thought that the two of us would hit it off. And he was going through something, similar to what I was going through. It was clear to my friends and everyone around me that things were being ignited in me. I was changing. I was different. I felt different, and I have always had this yearning that I wanted to save the world. I've always wanted to meet somebody that had that same passion about, helping people and saving the world. I just didn't know what that was going to look like. Okay. I've always had that desire in my heart to make a difference in the world. I just didn't know how. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know what direction I needed to take with that. I just knew it was in me, and I knew I had to do it. I didn't know how. So when I met my husband, he had the same feeling. He was like, I too want to save the world and, save humanity. I want to do my part in helping people. And so when we met, it was very quick. It happened very quick. The two of us met in November 2024. We had our first date in December 30th of 2024. We got married in May of 2026. And so it was quick. But right after, he was going through a very rapid spiritual awakening. And after meeting him, my awakening began to catapult, okay? And I began to open up my eyes to the world and see things that I'd never really seen before. And so, during the first few months of our relationship, he would share videos with me, or why don't you watch this series, and why don't you think about watching that? And so I would watch these things, and I'd be like, okay, some of this stuff's weird. I don't know about extraterrestrials, number one. I'm like, I've heard about it, don't know if I believe it. I come from a Southern Methodist background. It's not something that we ever talked about in my family. And so lots of feelings were coming up inside of me because my husband was communicating with tons of extraterrestrial races during his process and what he does. And so I'm like, okay, well, the first thing I did, and I'll tell you, this is going to be your first tip, is to get a set of dowsing rods. Okay, these things are amazing. They are glued to my hands most of the time. Never leave home without them. I have them in my purse, in my car, by the bedside. And so I bought a set of dowsing rods and started to connect with my own spirit guides. And so that's, one of the first tips that I'll give you is to get your dowsing rods, sit down, and have your dowsing rods, say, hey, show me a yes, okay? And it's different for everybody, and I'll say, show me a no, okay? And then show me a maybe. So that's kind of in the middle. So that's how the dowsing rods communicate with me. And so I sat down, and there's tons of resources out there. I do not claim to be an ascension expert. I am an expert in being kind to people and caring for people and being there for people. That's what I'm an expert at. And so, but I'm not an expert at ascension, but I have just gone through quite an experience that has led me to this point, to which I'll be discussing in my upcoming videos. And so, I just sat down with a list of ascended masters, cosmic masters, deities. There's several lists online. I found one that worked for me, and I kind of just took my dowsing rods and I was like, okay, I just went down the list, and it was like a yes or a no. And so I figured out who my initial guides were: my ascended master, cosmic master, archangels, deities, those, and yes, certain extraterrestrial races as well. So I kind of dug in and figured out who my guides were. And so once I did that, I just started communicating with them on a daily basis and having them lead me in a certain direction. I started listening to light language videos on YouTube. My favorite, the one that kind of set things in motion for my husband and I, her name's Alya, Alya. Her YouTube is Alya Light Language. I'll put the link in the description there. But she, I would get up in the morning, I would pull up YouTube, I would have my dowsing rods with me, and a video would get popped up and they would be like, yes, this is for you. And so I would just sit there with my dowsing rods, listening to the light language, and when part of the message was for me, the dowsing rods would say yes. So there's tons of resources online, lots of amazing, channelers and tarot readers, light language experts. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of videos online. So once you kind of connect with your spirit team, they'll start leading you to the ones that you need to watch. So that's exactly what happened to me. So I went on through this process and continued this process every day and still do it today. That's my, I get up in the morning, I make sure my energy field is clear, which I'll get into other videos. There's I've got almost a year and a half of voice recordings, because I started recording my journey the minute I met my husband. And so, because I knew it was going to be amazing. I knew it was going to be something special. And I knew that something extraordinary was happening to me. And so I started at that time recording things. And fast forward to now, I'm going to let my soul come through now and start to speak a little bit about me. And first, let me just get quickly to why I changed my name. And my soul can help explain this as well. So, I fast forward, and again, I'm going to get into all the details and exactly what I did to get to this point, so that everybody who wants to watch these videos and finds them helpful can sort of have a roadmap. And again, take what resonates with you, leave the rest behind. But so I can channel now. I do channel everything. All spirits, entities, beings, deities, ancestors, the trees, my dogs. My dogs speak to me now. So I have gotten to the point now where I can literally channel everything. And so, what I want to do now, but the main thing that I have gotten to the point where I'm doing now is I'm highly connected to my soul, okay? And I strongly encourage you to do the same. Again, I can walk you through that process. And anybody, here's the thing, I am not special, okay? Everybody on this earth has abilities. You just have to reach a level of consciousness to where your abilities can be activated. And that's something that I'll get into in some videos in the future, is, about your different DNA strands that all of us have in our bodies, okay? We've got a 12-strand DNA, a 24-strand DNA, a 36-strand DNA. And as you move up the ascension timeline, essentially, those DNA codes get activated and your gifts begin to come online, okay? It's not true. This is kind of, I'm just generalizing, all right? Again, I don't claim to be an expert. These are my own experiences. And that is one thing that you can count on from me, is I'm not going to talk about things on this channel that I haven't personally experienced firsthand. And I'm not going to just regurgitate things that I've heard other people say, okay? So what comes through me as me, and the experiences that I talk about, if I talk about 12-strand DNA, it's because I know that's what happened to me, okay? So as experiences have happened to me, I'll relay those experiences to you as best as I can, and will continue to, once I bring you up to speed to kind of where I'm at now, we can move forward and grow together. So I channel my soul, like my soul and my body and my soul are one. And that's a place that you want to strive to get to. Okay, most people have your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, your higher self, your soul, and your oversoul. Okay, that's kind of the hierarchy of your consciousness, so to speak. Okay, so I've gotten to a point now where all of this has merged into this one body. So I'm going to allow my soul now to come through and speak and talk to you about Asondia. Okay. Asondia, the reason I changed my name is because the name Asondia carries certain frequencies that were necessary for me to be able to continue on with my ascension. That's not everybody's path. It might be yours, and that's great. I was led through very specific ways to know that I needed to change my name. And this is the name that was given to me. So I've changed it. I'm operating now as Asondia. So that's the reason behind my name change. I, Asondia, hold a very specific frequency in my body. Frequencies are something that you'll learn about on this channel. I'll talk about them often. Everybody on this planet is resonating at a certain frequency. You begin around the 300 hertz scale, okay? Most of humanity, I shouldn't say most, a lot of humanity resonates in that 300 range. As your level of consciousness rises, your frequency rises as well. Asondia, me, this is my soul, so where there's a little bit of I'm speaking as Asondia, my soul is speaking through me, there's a lot of combination of communication happening here. So I have a very specific frequency. Everybody's born with a very specific frequency that can be reached with a higher level of consciousness. My frequency is a frequency of healing. And that is what my mission is on earth, is to help heal. So I'm able to heal with my body. My body can emanate a frequency of healing that will allow the person watching to receive the healing that they need. The healing I'm going to do today is for the heart. This is a healing for humanity, to help heal its heart. There's so much pain in the world right now. People are so torn apart. It breaks my heart to watch. And I hope this one small thing can help a little bit to ease the pain. When we ease the pain for one, we ease the pain for all. So when you heal your heart, you heal Gaia's heart and the collective consciousness heart, which needs it needs a lot of healing right now. There's so much death and destruction on our planet. So, please, let me give you a heart healing now. And I trust that this video will reach whoever it needs to reach. I don't speak during these healings, so just sit back and receive. Oh. receive these healing frequencies. Be open. Ah. 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 Woo. I'm going to stand up now. Ah. Woo. Ah. Oh. Oh. Unta, unta, unta. Woo! Get my chair back. Hope that was good for you. Felt amazing for me. I could feel the heart's healing. also have a message I want to relay now. For this is the Lemurian High Council saying, thank you. 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 We have much gratitude for this vessel and what she has endured in order to get to where she is now. We have a lot to communicate to you over the coming weeks and months and years even. We are looking forward to communicating to you through Asondia. Oh! This is Yeshua speaking to you now through Asondia to tell you she is here to help you. She has a pure heart and pure intentions and wants to help guide anyone who is interested through their awakening and ascension. Thank you. Oh, this is the Arcturian High Council thanking you for watching this video and for sharing it. Asondia does not want to ask for money, but we're gonna have her put her donation link in the description. So, thank you. And we too have many messages and prophecies that will be coming through Asondia. This is the Galactic Federation speaking now. We are looking forward to coming through Asondia as well. There are trillions of beings, interdimensionals, waiting to speak to humanity, and we will use Asondia to be that voice right now. Thank you for being open to hearing this message. Oh. Wow. Oh. soul has more to say. I'm humbled and grateful for this human body to operate through. I have a lot to say as well, and more will be revealed about me in the coming videos. For now, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you.